Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and I think you guys must have liked the referee shirt last week because we got over 2,000 views on our touchdown picks video, and I'm trying not to put pressure on myself, but I've recorded this intro like 8 times trying to get it perfect because I'm like, people are going to watch this. I got to be able to retain viewers, and I'm stressing myself out. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm just going to start with a thank you. I have tried to grow this Green Beans Go channel for 1.5 years now, and I am appreciative of the 2,000 people who stop by to watch this, truly. I see a lot of people in the sports betting industry selling something, selling picks, selling a Discord, and I think a lot of the time it's snake oil, it's fake, it's touty, and I told myself at the beginning of this journey I was not going to do that. And so I do put time into these videos and into my research, and I obviously would love to make money from that, but I also know that the research I do does not guarantee you guys a profit. So I again will remind you guys that I don't have any intention to ever sell you anything, but you guys coming by, watching, commenting, liking, sharing these videos is what ultimately is going to help me grow and hopefully make this into a career and open up opportunities for me. So I do want to say, first and foremost, thank you guys, and I appreciate you very, very much. Oh, there it is. There's all the data from week 1. Now, I realize this is not predictive. 1 week does not change anything necessarily. This is not going to be your holy grail of touchdown scores. You follow this, you're not going to hit every bet, but I think it does give us a good look and will continue to give us a good look throughout the season of what teams are doing and some of the trends that are out there. So at the top in the green, if you want to screenshot this and zoom in, I'm trying to figure out a good way to deliver this to you guys in a way that you can manipulate this data and look at it. More on that later. Okay, I am trying to figure that out. Up here we have offensive scored, rushing and passing scored, et cetera, by position, and then the quarter the offense scores. Down here is how the defense fares. The Arizona Cardinals allowed 4 defensive touchdowns, 2 rushing, 2 passing. Okay, that's how you read this column. 2 to the quarterback. Josh Allen obviously got 2 last week, and by quarter, then we have the first touchdown in the same sort of categories and setup and first touchdown allowed. The one thing I will point out is this average yards from touchdown on first drive. This was a suggestion I had from someone who watches my videos. As you can see, 73 right here for the Panthers. The Panthers on their first drive were 73 yards away from scoring a touchdown. All right. If they did score, I put it as 0.1 because if you put it as 0, it messes up the average. So you can see teams who fare well on their first drive versus not. A lot of times first drives are scripted. So if we can get an idea of who has a better script, so to speak, who does well when plays are all scripted, that hopefully can help us narrow down some teams to target for first touchdown scores. I'm building a little bit of a sandbox that I can manipulate. And again, I'm trying to figure out how to get this to you guys. So here's an example. When I write the team here and here, it allows us to compare side by side, because if you're looking at the game tonight and you're like, okay, what does Buffalo's offense do? What does Miami's defense do? Like, it's hard to sort of get that side by side. So I've created this thing that you guys don't have access to yet, but I'm trying to figure out a way to give you access so that you can type in the teams here and actually compare side by side to see if you can find any angles and edges based on how an offense performs versus how the defense performs. So more to come on that. Last week was great. I mean, for the first week with no data, just kind of handicapping the games, we did pretty darn well. We hit 2 of our 3 tier 1 plays, or our 1 unit plays, Richardson and Moss. We did not get Waddle. For our middle ground, our tier 2 plays, we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, which I think is great, and we did not hit any of our tier 3 or long shot plays. Total of 6 wins, 8 losses, up 4.4 units if you followed my unit recommendations. Tier 1 and tier 2 were profitable. Tier 3 did lose, and we forgot to do first touchdown, but I do have first touchdown for you today. Here's what you can expect every video: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 plays, followed by first touchdown picks. I would honestly encourage you to try to get as much value you can from promos rather than just tailing these blindly. I am going to track every play that I give out, but I am telling you right now, honestly, I may not play everything. There are plays that I probably won't get to unless they are promo backed. That's just how I operate. So don't expect me to blindly play my own plays, but I want to be honest and transparent and at least give you that warning. So as far as promos go, DraftKings does have their no sweat touchdown bets for every day of the NFL season again for week 2. So you get one tonight, you get one Sunday, and you get one Monday. So that's pretty cool. Okay. I did not hit any. I'll just tell you right now. So hopefully we can fare better this week. Here are the totals for the week. If you like to look at high scoring games to potentially zoom in on some touchdown scores: Buffalo, Miami, Arizona, and LA, Tampa, Detroit. This one is weird. Opened at 47, down to 40.5 because of the Jordan Love injury. I don't think that is fair pricing. I think the over is a great bet in this as a side note, and I just think that these two defenses struggled in week 1, so I think there's going to be opportunities here. Game in Kansas City I'm avoiding just because Cincinnati looks a little bit weird, and the game in Philadelphia. Let's start with our tier 1 plays, our 1-unit plays. 4 of these are going to be found on FanDuel. One of them, the Jonathan Taylor best odds, is on DraftKings. Jalen Waddle at 180. Got hurt a little bit last week and left the game, but I think he'll be fine tonight. They're already missing a running back, potentially 2 running backs tonight. Mostert is ruled out. Devin is, optimistic that he's going to play. So Tyreek Hill's going to get a lot of attention from the Bills defense. The Bills defense did not look amazing against Kyler Murray and the like, so I think Waddle has a good an opportunity tonight. Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor, both, I realize there's some negative correlation there. 2 guys on the same team. They both can't score a touchdown on the same drive. I get that, but we saw Green Bay give up 3 rushing touchdowns to Barkley. Let's see if they can fix that in a week. I don't know if they can, so I'm targeting 2 rushers for the Colts. And similar idea here, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards against the Panthers. Both I was shocked to see at plus money. Dobbins did better week 1 in terms of yardage, but they both had very similar amounts of action and carries. So I think there is a path and opportunity that both of them score this week, but as long as one of them scores, we come out ahead in that game. So those are my 1-unit plays. My tier 2 or half-unit plays: Bucky Irving, Tampa Bay's backup running back, did not outpace White in terms of carries, but he did outpace him in terms of yards, and he looks to be sort of the Jahmyr Gibbs of the Buccaneers. So think about what the Lions do with Gibbs and with Montgomery. I kind of see a similar thing unfolding with White and Irving. So I like him at 380 in what should be a high-scoring game. Lamar Jackson on Caesars is plus 200, also plus 200 on Hard Rock. Again, the Raiders did not look good against the rush. Derrick Henry's odds are like minus 180, so that's I don't see value there, but I see tremendous value at Lamar at plus 200. Greg Dortch for the Cardinals led the team in targets. I think Marvin Harrison, again, is going to get a lot of attention. I think this should be a moderately high-scoring game, so I like Dortch at 370. And Keenan Allen and more. The Texans won the game, and the Texans also allowed 2 monster passing touchdowns in that game, or at least monster passing plays. They did not look good in the back end of their defense, and I think Caleb Williams has something to prove. I think he has to play better this week, and I think he will play. He can't play worse, so he will play better is my prediction. And I think with Rome being hurt and banged up, I think it really gives an opportunity for Moore and Allen to be the solidified 1 and 2 guys. Not that there was any question anyway. But again, if one of these guys scores, we come out ahead. But I think there's an opportunity for both of them to potentially get a touchdown. Both were top 2 in targets this week. Those are my half-unit plays. Now for my longer shot 0.25 or quarter-unit plays: Juwan Johnson, tight end for the Saints. Foster Moreau has a concussion. Taysom Hill is not a pass-catching tight end, so there could be a way that Juwan Johnson comes into the game as the only pass-catching tight end, and we saw him get a fair amount of targets in the red zone from Derek Carr last weekend. Yes, they were playing the Panthers. I get that, but I still think at 5-1, it's a good number. Xavier Legette, I know you probably don't want to play Panthers players. I get it. If you want to full fade this one, I'm not going to be offended, but again, a guy who the Panthers are impressed with after week 1, who have come out and said we need to use him in more unique and different ways. We need to give him more opportunities. I believe he also led the team in targets. Maybe Thielen outpaced him barely, but he was coming in ahead of Deontay Johnson, who we had last week. So I like the gadgetry that they can do with him, and I think at 7-1, it's a good value play. Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. The Raiders are probably going to be passing quite a bit in this game to keep up with the Ravens. The spread's at something like 9 points. They are the underdog. So I have to think that, again, Devontae Devontae Adams is going to see a lot of attention, and Trey Tucker. Okay, so I'm all in on the Raiders passing offense, and I may come back to just completely ruin myself. But I think for a team whose game script is probably going to be a lot of passing, and Devontae Adams is going to be getting a lot of shadowed coverages, I think Bowers, Myers, and Tucker are all decent plays. We saw Xavier Worthy get over the top and, score some against this defense last week. And so, I don't think this defense is perfect. I think they're good. I don't think they're perfect. So I like these three guys. Call me crazy. One of them to find the end zone. That's what I'm going with for 0.25. And for first touchdown, I have 3 plays for you. A little bit of actually, they're all 3 double dips, triple dips, if you will. 3 scoop Sunday. Jacoby Myers, I think it's too much at 28-1. I say units vary. I would not go more than 0.1 units. So if you are a $10 unit better, $1. Okay. If you are a $20 unit better, $2. All right. So these are not something that I would recommend putting a ton on, at least the Jacoby Myers leg. I can see you going 0.25 or even a half unit on these if you're okay with that risk. But I just think this is a guy who scored first quite a bit last year. I want to say he led his team and maybe even led the NFL in first touchdown scored. And at 28-1, I love that number. So it would take a lot. Obviously, I think the Ravens do score first in this one, but I'm playing a number here at value rather than game script. Gus Edwards, I'm just going to guess that he gets some early action. And J.K. Dobbins, it's kind of a coin flip. It's a little bit of a risky bet. J.K. Dobbins could easily score first, and if he does, we'll win a touchdown bet. But I like Gus Edwards in this spot at 8-1. I would probably go quarter unit on that. That's what I'm going to track it at. And Jonathan Taylor, I've already mentioned why I like Jonathan. Excuse me. Oh man, why I like Jonathan Taylor for the game overall, but I like him first as well. If you want Anthony Richardson first, I don't blame you. 6-1, I would go 0.25 units. So we'll call it 0.1, 0.25, 0.25 is how it's officially going to be tracked. That's what I got for you guys today. Tomorrow we do our underdog picks of the week. I already released my full NFL spreads and totals picks. I already released my rankings this week. So if you want to check out any of those videos, I appreciate it. Be nice in the comments, guys, please. But be in the comments. That's the most important part. I'd rather you write a mean comment than no comment. Like, subscribe, share, and kiss somebody on the lips today. We'll see you tomorrow.